What is up, guys? It is me, Doc Holiday, and I'm here with Bo. And this is a slightly nocturnal show. Today is November 10th, 2017. It's the observed day for Veterans Day. So happy Veterans Day to everybody. What is going on, my man?
Hey, chilling like a villain. Locked myself out of the house earlier today when I went to get a nice fresh haircut. And so it's been an adventurous holiday for me thus far.
Well, good stuff.
So, and you know, we failed to mention at the start of the month, but Trumpy made November Veterans Month.
Veterans Month. Huh?
Yeah, like he signed it into law that it was like veterans and their families appreciation month or something. I don't remember the exact.
Oh shit! Really? That's fucking cool.
Unless some other president later in life undoes it, but November moving forward is basically like a Veterans History Month or a Veterans Appreciation Month, however the verbiage is for that.
That's awesome. Well, happy fucking Veterans Day to all the veterans.
Yeah. Indeed.
You know, be careful about thanking vets, saying thank you for your service. Most vets do not like to hear that shit. So.
But if you are a veteran, go enjoy a free meal somewhere. Plenty of places.
Goddamn right, there's plenty of places. If you're a veteran, go get yourself hooked up. I don't want to hear about you not being able to have a good meal today. So, anyways,
and haircuts and other things. Lots of discounts.
Lots of discounts. Well, cool shit. So, let's just get this out of the way. Goddamn, the sexual harassment shit that is coming out of the fucking woodworks, man. Like, so Louis C.K. yesterday got hit up real hard. What do you think about all that, man?
I think it's crazy. I think in general, I think it's really cultural. I think that's the culture that's been going on for years. I was watching a Joe Rogan podcast, so I don't want to, steal the thunder on it. But he had like a newspaper article about Maureen O'Hara from like the 1930s or 40s, where she was talking about how she was called like an ice princess and like a statue because she wouldn't let like directors and producers like kiss her and grope her. So really? I think it's been like the entertainment world's like dark standard for years and years and years. The other, recently, Charlie Sheen was accused of sodomizing Corey Haim.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm not saying guilty, not guilty, any of those kind of things, but I think that it was cultural. I think that those people grew up in or have been living in this surreal life that accepts these bad practices that you can't get away with anywhere else, and through wealth and power, they kind of turn a blind eye, and it's kind of coming out now. It seems like
it's fucking crazy. That's for sure. Like the whole Kevin Spacey thing, they're gonna like probably kill him off on House of Cards or completely just eradicate him. But there was a big like what is it called, change.org or something like that, where they like want to make, what's his name, what's the big guy, Kevin James. They want to replace Kevin Spacey with Kevin James. Like the last time I looked at it, it was like 30,000 signatures for Netflix to change. But to me, like, what the fuck?
Oh my gosh. What would happen to Kevin Can Wait?
That's not the right character for that show. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't think so either. But House of Cards, Netflix, I'm available. I got a fresh haircut today.
You ready to play Frank Underwood?
Yes. Right. Got some product in my hair. I'm ready.
You're ready? Oh, yep. My goodness. So, you got big plans for Thanksgiving?
Going up to Maryland to see friends and in-laws.
That's cool.
So, yeah, it should be fun. And my brother lives up in that area, so probably catch a beer or something with him.
Good stuff.
Although that motherfucker, and he's a Marine, and today's the Marine Corps birthday, so he's all hyped up today. And
he's not a Marine anymore, though, right?
Well, Marines never stop being Marines.
Oh, okay.
That's what they say.
Yeah, they can say a lot of shit, can't they?
Yeah. No, he works for DOD now, but he was a Marine. Anyway, so, and they were on ESPN all day because it's the Marine Corps birthday.
Yeah.
So he was hyped about that. But the last time I went to fucking town, this douchebag like waits till the very last night before I'm leaving to say, I guess I can get together with you. You should have let me know you were coming. And like we had planned that vacation for like 3, 4, 5 months. And I was like, I did fucking let you know I was coming. He's like, well, you need to prove it. Show me the text message.
Oh my god.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me, man? I don't save all our text messages. What the fuck? So then I was like, oh, but you know what, cocksucker, I got you. I was like, let me look up my man Muma. It's like, cause this other buddy of mine, Donald, we used to work in like the prisons together, like, and a whole bunch of us used to always go to like gentlemen's clubs together. And so we were joking about maybe hitting up a gentleman's club and being gentlemen and inviting my brother along. You know what I mean? And so I found that, and he was like, okay, I knew you were coming. I just got busy and fucking forgot. I was like, all right, man. Well, take ownership. Like, don't fucking lay the blame on me that you don't want to make time to get together.
You know what? That's classic Marine style right there. Deny. You can tell him I said that. I was raised by 2 Marines, so.
Yeah, I think he listens to the show, so he'll catch that.
Go fuck yourself with your always being a Marine. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. Those guys say that though, man. I work at the VA, and then even in groups, that's like the motto.
Yeah. So. Speaking of Marines, you hear about that Marine drill sergeant that's about to be convicted at Camp Lejeune?
No. What do you do?
Sergeant Joseph Felix. He's subject to financial penalties and dishonorable discharge for abusing young recruits as a drill instructor.
Oh wow.
Yep, he was said that he's a convicted drunken and of disorderly conduct, making false official statements, lying to investigators about his actions.
Damn.
He's accused of punching, kicking, and choking recruits, and zeroing in on 3 Muslim American military volunteers he insulted as terrorists.
Oh wow, sucks to be him, huh?
Lieutenant Colonel John Norman said that he was not making Marines, he was breaking Marines. He was a bully who picked out 3 Muslim recruits for special abuse because of their Muslim faith. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I agree. And talk about easy prey, like, picks out the easiest people to pick on.
Listen to this shit.
In today's world, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fucking horseshit. He ordered a Marine into a clothes dryer, turned it on, and then demanded he renounce his Islamic faith. What the fuck?
Oh, wow. Wow.
After the 3rd spin, this private or lance corporal feared for his life and renounced his faith. The drill sergeants then let him out. What the let's fucking do.
Holy crap.
Shit.
Well, there's probably a big guy who's, homosexual homosexual when he's behind the walls in Leavenworth, who's just waiting on this guy to get there. You know what I mean?
Goddamn, listen to this shit. He did this shit too. He yelled at this other Pakistani American soldier from Taylor, Michigan, so long that literally for what does it say? For over an hour that the young cadet jumped off a stairwell committing suicide after he was barked and slapped at.
Wow.
Holy fuck.
Well, there's a warm place in hell waiting on that guy.
This dude is a piece of shit. He should rot and burn in hell forever for this crap.
Yeah.
Federal pounding
you ever see the movie the movie Little Nicky?
Mm-hmm.
That Adam Sandler flick? Where they take the pineapple and shove it up Hitler's ass every day? I feel like this guy's waiting on something like that one day.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, man. What's up, Linz? What's going on? Welcome to the show.
How's it going?
Hold on one second. I gotta do something.
Ooh. All right, do it.
Do it.
Yeah,
that
just
guy's
do it.
Gotta fucking go. He's got to fucking go.
Yeah. And you know what? His neighbor probably said he's a nice guy. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know people what to show you themselves, man. Like, everybody's always like, how do they miss that? Because you don't fucking know what's going on inside people's heads, man.
Yeah,
I bring that up because I'm sure the gun activists after the church shooting and all that kind of stuff, everybody, wants to get more restrictive with firearms again.
Yeah.
And I just point to the fact that the two most restrictive cities in the U.S. are basically New York and Chicago, and they still have a lot of firearm deaths.
So what is your take on that? On the fire? Do you think you don't think firearms should be banned?
Oh no, not at all. Yeah, I mean, I could see saying assault rifles. You don't really need an assault rifle at the crib, but I'm not anti-gun by any means.
I think that I read the other day that most, speaking of guns, like 98% of gun owners want background checks. It's not that we don't want them,
Yeah,
because
sure.
most gun owners don't want they don't want crazy people to have guns,
Yeah, who wants a criminal or a person who's unstable to carry around, an easy way to kill lots of people?
Yeah, I agree.
Now, I am a firm believer that a criminal or and I'm just going to say crazy, or unstable person. I'll use the old Looney Tune terminology. And I'll say that I think if those people want to harm somebody, they're going to harm you whether they can get a gun or not. They're just not going to be able to harm as many people if they can't get a gun.
Right, and this is the whole logic of, they've talked about this before, even if, there's still gun, gun crimes that go on even in countries that don't have guns,
Right.
If you want a gun, people will get a gun. It's just the concept of locks. All locks do is keep honest people honest,
True enough.
So you want to tell us did you say anything about your lock situation earlier? How you been?
Oh, I did mention that I locked myself out. Yeah.
I
So
swear it's
today,
like a fad with our show. Like, I've locked myself out trying to get home in time for the show. Bo did it today. So,
yeah, so this is how the day started. Got up with the wife and kiddo. Had some peanut butter crunch. I'm a Captain Crunch peanut butter cereal kind of guy.
Amen to
cup
that.
of coffee. Cup of coffee. Feeling good. Took the kiddo to school. The missus went to work. Came home. Had another cup of coffee. Threw on Sports Center. Knocked out some exercises. I thought to myself, man, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go get a fresh haircut. Even though we don't, go on air anymore for camera, I thought, I'll look sharp for this noontime show. Grab my keys, walk out the house, go get my hair cut, notice that my forehead's growing, come back home to get in the house, and goddamn if I didn't have a house key. I grabbed the spare keys and not my own keys because they both got beer openers on them.
You need to
so I was easily confused, and so then I'm standing there. I'm like, well, let me YouTube how to break into my own house with a credit card. So then I YouTube it. I watch a couple videos because I don't trust just one video. I want to become an expert in it. So I pull out the American Eagle plastic, start to go to work on the lock, and I bend the credit card up, and the lock doesn't unlock. So I'm like, well, damn, this card's too bent up now to get me in. Let me watch another video. So I throw another video on. In the meantime, I think maybe I better call my wife just in case I'm not going to be able to get in and see if she'll let me get her key. But she doesn't answer the phone call nor the text. So now I pull out the Eddie Bauer credit card and try to go to work on the lock with my Eddie Bauer card, thinking, this is a good outdoorsman card, good company. It'll get me in. It'll get the job done. No, it doesn't get the job done either. So a second bent up plastic card later, my wife finally texts me back and says, you can come to the school and get my key. And I said, okay, well, I want you to take the key off because I don't want to have to come to the school, get the key, and then bring the keys back. So I just want the house key, and you keep your car keys. And she says, okay, you're good to go. Come get it. So here I am in my, jeans, my ill-fitting waffle shirt with my messy hair that I had intended to come home and wash, looking like this hobo who hasn't showered today because I had no intention of doing a haircut, and then coming home to shower and being, fresh for this show. And I roll up in there, and the first thing the secretary says is, I'm going to need some money for this key.
Yes.
And I look at her and I say, ma'am, do I look like the kind of guy who has any money? And she starts laughing. And I said, but if you accept plastic, we can get this done. And she proceeded to laugh a little longer, gave me the key, and I brought my hobo-looking ass home. Proceeded to clean up. And here we sit today. But it's been quite an adventurous holiday for me. It was not nearly as relaxing as I intended. In fact, I stood on the stoop watching those YouTube videos, bending my plastic cards up, debating whether or not I should just pull out my knife and cut the screen of the window and come through the window. Thankfully, the missus, was kind enough to return the call and answer the messages and save me having to replace the screen.
Right. That's right.
So, but yeah, I guess it was my turn because last year you did that, and we had issues with the show because of you locking yourself out.
Yeah.
So when I got home,
super late. Yeah, we got started super late.
Yeah. When I got home, I took all the spare keys and I put them in a Ziploc baggie, and so now they're all bagged together, and only the regular keys are loose. So I don't have to like study my keys before I leave to ensure this does not occur again.
So I heard you went and saw Thor.
I did see Thor. That shit was awesome.
I have not seen it yet. I'm thinking about going and seeing it today.
For me, it was the greatest Marvel movie that's been made to date, and my brother actually echoed the sentiment. So he actually messaged me. I hadn't said anything to him about seeing the movie, and he told me that he took his 3 boys to see it. And if there was one thing I did all year, it was I should see Thor Ragnarok. And I was like, I got you, motherfucker. It's been done.
So I'm thinking about going and seeing it today. If I do, I will live blog afterwards on YouTube about my reaction to it. So, and which you should have done. We should have had you do that. That would have been cool. So.
Yeah, I should have. But my wife and daughter both loved it too. Yeah, everybody loved it. Heck, there's a great sense of humor throughout the entire movie. Lots of good action, special effects. I can't say anything at all negative about it. For feminists, there was a very powerful female person. There are actually two. There was a good and a bad, powerful female.
I hear that. What's her face? Kate something other, right? Is
Blanchett.
Yeah, she's like the bad.
Yeah, she is, and she is a very bad chick.
Cool.
Yeah. So I don't want to ruin the movie for anybody, and it's still recently out, so I don't want to say a whole lot about it. But it was a really awesome movie, thoroughly enjoyable. If you did comic books, if you did Marvel movies, or if you just have a good sense of humor and like some action, it's the movie for you.
I don't know if it's... So we have this one movie theater, and it's in a town about 20 minutes away from me. Probably 30 minutes. And it's brand fucking new. It's a bowling alley and movie theater combined.
Nice.
It's actually probably one of the nicest bowling alleys / theaters I've ever been in my life. So I live out in an area where this is the #1 oil production place in the U.S. I live out, it's a huge oil field. So the oil companies, to help keep people around because of the remote area that we live in, they build these things. Like they built this movie theater and bowling alley. They bought it all and built it all. And then like I live in the town I live in, they built what's called the PAC. It's called the Pinedale Aquatic Center. It's got they built it. It was $6.7 billion building that includes a water park. It's got 2 Olympic-sized pools inside of it, a gym, a running track upstairs, saunas, racquetball courts, full deal, climbing wall. It's got a climbing gym inside of it. And yeah, the oil field built that as well. It's really nice. It's free for everybody that lives in the town, so you can just go to it. Literally, it's across the street. I walk out my front door and walk into the parking lot, so it's super nice.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's cool because they got a water park in it too. You know, it's a heated water park. You can go to the water park all year.
Nice.
So,
right.
But yeah, so this movie theater, it's in the next town over. But yeah, it's I think they have 3 stadium seating theaters. You know, they're not huge by any means, but it's still stadium seating. And for a town of less than 500 people to have 3 stadium seating theater
that's pretty
and
good.
A bowling alley, that's fucking pretty cool. So, and in fact, you can get 3 games of bowling, a full a large pizza, 2 drinks, and 2 movie tickets for $20. Like, that's fucking outstanding. Like, you can't beat that with a stick. So,
hell no.
Cheap entertainment. So yeah, probably gonna go see Thor today. That's my plan. I bought Destiny 2, so I'm sure I'll be playing shitloads of that. Cheap entertainment. So, and on Black Friday, I'm gonna blow some money. I've been saving all year. Gonna buy some shitloads of crap for my kid, I'm sure. So. And I don't know if everybody knows, I haven't tweeted it or anything, but I got dogs, I got puppies. I have 2 10-week-old puppies. And if you hear yelping or whatever in the background, that's what it is. I've got 2 10-week-old puppies, so. And I'm sure I'll tweet some pictures out soon, but it snowed this morning, and they were fucking covered in snow when I let them outside. Got track snow all in my fucking house, so.
55 and sunny here.
It's a nice 34 here and snowing, which is I will take the 34 over like the 6 that it's been lately. So
yeah, I would too. But 55 and sunny is better in my mind.
I agree. So, but yeah, so those are my big plans for the weekend. Watch Thor. I'm off all weekend. I haven't had a whole weekend off in a really long time, so gonna watch a movie. Play with the dogs probably, and play some Destiny 2. I'm just gonna fucking do that. Not do shit.
Sounds like a good weekend, man.
Yeah, gonna make some junk.
You gotta watch college football though.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna watch fucking Georgia get their ass beat by Auburn. That's gonna happen. And then I'm on to watch. I
don't know if that's happening or not, but I figured you'd want to watch it.
And then I'm gonna watch Miami stay undefeated. This is gonna happen. So.
Yeah, they got the Catholics versus the convicts, man.
It's a tough game for me to watch because I want Notre Dame to win, and I want Miami to win. So that's hard. That's a hard one for me. So yeah. Whoever wins that game will definitely be in the playoff race, no matter what. So that's my sentiments about that game. And I think Mississippi is going to give Alabama a run for their money. I don't think they'll win, but I think they're going to give them a run for their money.
Yeah, I don't know. Mississippi State is tough though, but
tough
and it's a home game for them, but it's still Alabama.
I think Alabama will win. So, and I think if Iowa can knock off Wisconsin, we'll see Iowa Hawkeyes in the top 10 after this game. So.
Maybe they've had some big wins. How many losses do they have this year?
They got 3 losses, but they've upset some big teams. But in Wisconsin's going into this game 9-0, you know, so it's a big win or go home game for these guys. Iowa has probably no chance of getting in the playoffs, but this could ruin Wisconsin's chance of being in the playoff scene. So,
sure, and they just ruined Ohio State's last week.
Yes, they did. And I'm fucking so proud of them Hawkeye boys. Thank you, Jesus. Clearing the way for my boys Notre Dame and Miami to play in the big game this year. To do the dance, motherfuckers. So.
Well, one of them might. I guess it'll depend.
Yeah,
because Clemson's all like the 2 of them in Clemson are all ACC teams.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You know what I mean? Clemson's still only a 1-loss team. They play Florida State this week, but I think Florida State's really down, so Clemson should win that.
I'm surprised. They're 3-5 this year, so I'm disappointed.
Yeah, they lost their quarterback though the first game.
Is that what it was? Is that
what? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that first game, I think Florida State lost their quarterback. So. And then Oklahoma TCU play.
Yeah, that's another big game. Yeah, I mean that's whoever. You know, if you want to get back in the playoff scene, you got to win this game, but for both teams. So.
Right. Yeah,
big game for college football. Big game. So.
Yeah, it's a big weekend for it. for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of like ride or die fucking games on the line, so it's gonna be.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a good Saturday. So
Ohio State, Michigan State. I mean, neither one of them is going to jump back up into that top four, but that should still be a good football
it'll
game.
be a good game. Yeah, absolutely, it'll be a good game.
They're Ohio State's 11 and Michigan State's 13, so a lot of matchups. So they're solid.
I know my fucking folks down in Miami are going fucking crazy, getting ready for tomorrow's big game. Stay safe, motherfuckers. Don't do anything crazy. Come on now. So, anyways, what else was it? Oh, so let's talk about this YouTube TV. So I think I'm gonna get this shit.
Okay.
If there's anybody that thinks that I shouldn't get it, please let me know in the comments below. Let me know now, or let me know if you're listening to this on iTunes or Google Play. Hit me up on Twitter, or hit Bo up on Twitter. And let us know why we shouldn't get it, or why we should get it. If we should get a different option. I've looked at the Hulu one. It offers more channels, but it's more channels that I really don't watch. So I don't really see the point in paying the extra $15 for shit that I'm not gonna watch. So there goes the dogs. So, anyways, yeah. So if you have any recommendations on, I don't want to get cable, like regular cable, but for $35 you can't beat YouTube TV. So. And
should we talk UFC for a minute? Once you. Oh, sorry, I thought you finished talking that.
Go right ahead. Go, yeah.
Well, we were all on the champs to win last week, and I mean, my heart was with the contenders, but my head was telling me champs, and indeed, it was the contenders who looked like the champs and are now champions.
Like I posted, man, upsets everywhere. God damn, it was the day of upsets.
Yeah. Well, that chick, I don't know if you remember, man, when she was on the UFC, she was in the UFC house when they did the female Ultimate Fighter. And like back then they were talking about her being like the next Ronda Rousey. And then she came into the UFC and like lost a fight or two to start her career and kind of like got forgotten about. And now apparently she's like everything they thought she was going to be when she was on that show. Because she just demolished this chick who would look like she was the most dominant female fighter potentially ever.
Yeah.
The dog is like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, my pups, yeah. They're wrestling each other. So I'm like super disappointed with, I didn't like that Bisping lost.
I liked it. I love St. Pierre.
Fucking St. Pierre's washed up. He's a great fighter, but he's done.
I've got to be honest, the way he won surprised me. He struggled on the mat with Bisping, but he beat him standing up.
Yeah, it was like, what the fuck? Maybe Bisping trained for the ground and just didn't put in the time in the standing up game. So.
Yeah. I mean, he still got choked the fuck out.
Yeah, no, I agree. So.
And I would tap. I understand wanting to be a tough guy, but to me, I'm a tapper. I'll tap rather than pass the fuck out.
So he did lose in style. He did not tap and.
He did not tap.
So he can gladly say that he did not tap to GSP any fucking time he wants. So.
That's right, he can. But he did pass the fuck out.
He did. He went out hardcore. So.
But yeah, he definitely went out the hardcore way. And then my man Dillashaw, man, he beat Cody up.
Yeah, he did.
And Cody hit him hard a couple times to start the fight, but then TJ kind of got his bearings, and it went a whole different way. That was like shocking.
A train wreck. It was like, yeah.
It was shocking, especially the way Cody demolished Cruz, and Cruz had like demolished TJ.
Yeah. You have your losses. I think they'll probably fight. They're gonna definitely fight again. They'll let them fight again.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I was seeing some stuff, and I think it'd be pretty cool to see. A while back, they talked about TJ fighting Demetrius Johnson. I'd like to see those guys fight, man. They're both champs. They're in close weight classes. Man, have them dudes fight. I think that'd be something. And Demetrius has fucking run through everybody in his class. Like, there's nobody who's close to him in his weight class right now. So I'd like to see TJ fight him. You still there, man? It got real quiet. Hello, hello. No turntables and a microphone. Hey, you there, brother?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. Say it got real quiet for a minute, man.
So you were saying, last I heard you were saying you were talking about the Demetrius Johnson fight. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. He basically owns his class, man. He's so much better than everybody else that's at his weight. I think he's got to fight like a catch weight fight, or even be willing to go up.
I don't know. He seems like he's pretty. I'd be pretty happy about beating everybody's asses, you know. So
Yeah. But I mean, at some point though, you either just age out and you know what? Because he literally dominates everybody that he fights in there.
Well, he's talked about this. He's talked about his. He's talked about he wants to be a streamer, like after he retires. So and he started doing that. So I don't know if he's getting ready for retirement or what he's doing. You know. How old is he?
That's a good question. Let me look real quick. I mean, I'd like to see him fight TJ because I think it'd be an awesome fight. And I think it'd be a challenge for him for both of them.
So
and if you're
he's 31, he's 1 year younger than me.
There you go. Did you say 1 year younger than you?
Yeah.
Fuck. Like he's almost a decade younger than me. Shit.
Well, 80s babies. That's what we are.
Yeah, I'm a bicentennial.
We include you in our family. You're the bastard child.
Right.
You're what do they call that? A commemorative 80s baby. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
You're 30.
Yeah, I was one of those afternoon delight child.
Oh, Jesus.
Skyrockets in flight.
Oh my goodness. I don't. So I don't know if Demetrius Johnson's getting ready for retirement. 31. That's the type of. That's the time when you see. You start to see some fighters start to contemplate. Am I done getting knocked in the head?
Yeah, that's still basically his prime, though. I mean, basically the prime is somewhere like 27 to 33.
I'm not saying he's going to fight, one more fight and that'll be it. But, the champs usually tend to fight 1 to 2 fights a year. So we might only see him fight maybe 3-4 more times, probably. I'm thinking 4 more fights unless he loses, and he's probably done. I would think so.
Right. No, I agree. And I don't see anybody who's in his class. Now, there might be some up-and-comer we don't know about, but I don't see anybody in the top 5 that can fuck with him.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't know if, and I don't know how he wants to go out. If he goes out on, so he does 2 more fights in his weight class and then decides to do a catch weight, and, if he loses, does that motivate him to stay? Does that say, hey, I'm done?
Right.
Does he do the whole Mayweather thing? They were asking Mayweather after he fought McGregor, you gonna fight anymore? And he's like, nope, that's it. I'm done. I'm retired. I'm going out either way. So
we got that nice round number, right? 50 wins and no losses.
That's right. Isn't he 51-0? Isn't that 51?
Oh, I thought it was 50.
Maybe it is 50. I could be totally wrong. So
yeah, I was thinking that was number 50.
But he will go down as one of the greatest boxers ever. So.
Yeah, well, he's the greatest defensive boxer ever. I don't think that's debatable. I think you can argue he might not be the greatest boxer because it's not such a fantastic style to watch.
I would rather watch a Pacquiao.
He's a bad motherfucker. Yeah, because of his offensive aggression.
Well, yeah. Or Roy Jones, or even a fucking Tyson fight. So. You still there, bud?
Yeah, I was listening. No, I'm still here. I was just looking it up. I think he's 50-0, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
50
50
and
and
0.
0.
50 and
Yep,
0. There you go. That's a good round number.
that nice round number. Yeah.
That's enough.
Plus he has so much money.
Oh God, him and McGregor made so much money off that fight. So.
Well, that's why Conor hasn't been fighting anymore in the UFC, in my opinion. He's so rich, he doesn't want to get punched in the face if he doesn't have to.
Well, have you seen what he wants to be a promoter now? Like he said, he's not fighting any more UFC fights unless he's on the promoting.
So, that's the smart fucking thing to do.
And I think the UFC is going to let him do it. You know, I haven't heard anything from Dana White saying "fuck that guy," that you were not doing that. You know.
Well, right. Pick the next star the UFC has. Tell me who's their next marketable person.
No, I totally agree.
And so they're really almost over a barrel, to be honest, because they need him more than he needs them now that he's so wealthy.
It could be that.
Hell, he could go do movies. He could try to box and make a lot of money again. I mean, he has other methodology. Whereas they're trying to sell fights, you put Conor on a fight card, they're selling a whole lot more fights.
So there was talk. I saw an interview yesterday where I think the UFC is about to full-fledged get in the boxing game.
Okay.
They're what's that promoter Dana White hates? Do you know who I'm talking about? There's a boxing promoter.
Is it Ari something?
Something like, yeah, that's it. And but yeah, Dana White talked about it yesterday about how I think they're gonna go after. They have basically, I think they're gonna be a promoter, which really just is like.
Yeah, like De La Hoya and Golden. Was it Golden Boy Promotions?
Yeah, you know, it's not saying that UFC is probably gonna host boxing matches.
Is it Bob Arum?
Bob Arum, that's who it is.
Yeah.
They're going to just have a stable of them, you know, just like they have a stable of UFC fighters. And versus putting on boxing matches, they're probably just, you know, going to hold contracts for boxing fighters. So.
Right.
Which, if you ask, you know, UFC guys, like, they have a way better insurance policy versus most boxing promoters. They get paid on par now, champs do, with boxing. Minus, now you can't count that McGregor Mayweather fight. That's like unheard of money for a boxing fight. So that was a fucking show plus the boxing was like added plus to that.
I think they might get paid on par with like average, you know, like small boxing guys who don't pull a big person, but like boxers who pull a person that headline a fight make way more than mixed martial artists. Way more, not just that fight, but any fight. Yeah. And Dana White did say 2 days ago, 100% doing boxing.
Yeah, there you go. So
he's securing a promoter's license right now.
And he used to be a boxing promoter, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he was an amateur boxer. I don't know if he promoted it or not. I think he himself boxed.
Yeah, I know he boxed at one point. Because him and Tito Ortiz were going to fight each other at one point. Like early 2000s. I was still in the military. I remember that shit. Him and Tito Ortiz were supposed to do a boxing match. So
I don't know. That's like your boy Rogan and Wesley Snipes were supposed to do a mixed martial arts match, right?
That ain't never going to happen.
No, it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it was supposed to happen a long time ago. Or maybe it was a taekwondo fight or something. I don't know. They were supposed to throw down, though, in like a sanctioned battle.
Yeah. I think
that was when Wesley got in tax trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yep. So.
That might have been a smart move, man. I mean, I don't know.
Don't want this short little white boy whooping your ass. Can't be whooping up on Blade's ass now.
I'm just thinking, you know, I don't, and I know Wesley. I think he's got like a black belt in taekwondo, but I don't know if he'd want to do any kind of rolling with Joe. You know what I mean? And I know Joe was a hell of a taekwondo fighter too, and even a teacher before he got into like the entertainment business and things. Yeah. But if I'm Wesley Snipes, I'd rather stand up and have a taekwondo battle with Joe than fucking roll around on the mat with him. Like if it's me.
Right, I agree. I would I don't want to fuck with Joe. Like he's a strong little bastard. So
I believe that to be so. I mean, I haven't met him in person or anything, but I wouldn't want him choking me.
Motherfucker,
I could say that.
Put me in a bear hug. one time and about fucking died. About like literally like squeezed the shit out of me. Like literally, I couldn't get away from him.
Yeah, that's kind of. He looks like he could do that, and I'm just thinking, I wouldn't want to wrestle that guy. Speaking of wrestling, though, 30 for 30, Ric Flair, Nature Boy. If you guys haven't seen it that listen to this show, and you ever have dug wrestling in your life, you need to check that shit out.
I watched it the other day. It's great.
It's awesome, right?
It is. So 30 for 30 is on ESPN. You can watch it online. I think it's on ESPN's YouTube channel. If it's not, it will be soon. They always put them on there. But yeah, I encourage you to go check it out. If you're any kind of wrestling fan, definitely do it. He said he slept with, over 10,000 women?
and spanked it twice daily.
That's right.
Like the 10,000 women wasn't enough.
Had to get them extra 20,000 fucking jerk-off sessions in, you know?
Right. It's like, damn, Rick, come on, buddy.
Woo!
Right. Was he like, he's Rolex wearing, Cadillac driving? Oh, yes. Man, I forget the whole speech.
Yes, the Nature Boy Ric Flair. He always had that, like, woo! Fucking thing. I know people remember that shit, so.
Yeah, in fact, the guy who made the documentary, there's a neat article you can read on ESPN about the documentary. So and I forget his name, I apologize to him if he ever hears this show. But when he was a young boy, his dad took him to see a wrestling match. And he wooed at Ric Flair. And Ric Flair looked at him and told him not to fucking woo at him. When this guy was a little kid, when he was a little...
Oh, that's fucking great. That's fucking
great. That's a neat read. I think it's ESPN.com that I read that story about the guy who made the 30 for 30 special.
Don't be wooing at me, boy.
So he's also the guy that made the what is it? I Hate Christian Laettner special.
Yeah.
Which is also an awesome 30 for 30.
It is.
So talented filmmaker. But yeah, he told him not to be wooing at him, and he was just a kid. He was holding up like the 4 fingers for the 4 horsemen, which Flair was a member of, and holler and woo. And Rick looked at him and told him not to be wooing at him. Just fucking imagine being a kid and having that happen. So crazy.
Yeah.
Ric Flair is the greatest heel ever to grace a wrestling ring. There's never been a better heel, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
So I was a Hulkamaniac growing up, so Hulk was my guy. But
I was the NWO, Kevin Nash,
Hollywood Hogan.
God, yes.
Hollywood was a leader of the NWO.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I like to, and then Generation X, fucking, what's his face?
Triple H.
Triple H and
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels, baby.
Yes. And X-Pac.
X-Pac, baby.
And China.
I still got a fucking Generation X shirt, man. I fucking love that.
Oh,
DX, motherfucker. Shit. DX. In fact, when they got, like, back in the 2000s, they started it up again, and I went to fucking WrestleMania and saw that shit in Orlando. It was like one of the greatest experiences. Again, it's just a show, but it was like a great show. It was fucking awesome, So, DX forever, baby. May they live on. So, I love that shit. And I love John Cena. I'm a huge Cena fan.
You're a Cena man. My daughter loves John Cena too.
Motherfucker can't see me.
So when I was a little boy and my dad was a military policeman, every once in a while would get to work security for wrestling matches when they came to Kansas.
Yeah.
And so I got to meet like Mr. Fuji, the Great Kabuki, anybody who's an NWA fan, Tommy Wildfire Rich, who at the time was a champion. I met Marty Jannetty, who was one of the Rockers with Shawn Michaels. So I got to like ride in limousines and shit.
Shit.
Yeah, like cool shit when I was a little boy. So pretty neat. So I was a huge wrestling fan. In fact, I remember my dad. He would stay home Sunday mornings. Like my mom would be getting us all ready for church, and my pops would stay home on Sunday mornings just to watch wrestling.
Fucking heathen.
So grew up watching Saturday Night Main Event, like all that stuff, man.
It's fucking cool. So, like, what else did you see inside these rings? You see any other big like wrestlers that became like huge household names that were nobody's?
No, those were the only real big ones that I ever saw. On the other end of the spectrum, when I was in college, I ran a summer camp during the daytime, and I sold porn at night. And I hung out with Ron Jeremy and Tara Patrick before she was really famous.
What? Tara Patrick?
So, yep. She wasn't very famous back then, though. This was like the late 90s before she really had like boomed on the scene.
Is it called After Porn? Is that what it's
called?
There's
two of them. There's After Porn and After Porn, too.
I highly encourage you, folks. It's not a dirty show. Like, it's super interesting. You should watch both shows. They're like documentaries on like life after porn for these huge porn stars. Like, I'm telling you, you'll watch these and you're gonna know them. Even if you've never watched porn, you're gonna know who these people are. And
that was the craziest job I ever had.
So tell us about this. Like, I want to hear this shit. So.
Oh, they were cool. We went to like a strip club and hung out and stuff, man. Like, very cool people. And just hung just like you and I. Like at the time, Tara Patrick and you know who Kobe Ty is? That's like a name from the past. Yeah, like they were both there and they were going to be dancing at like one of the strip clubs in West Virginia that was near where we lived in Maryland. Just
to say, this was something I learned on that After Porn show that on Netflix, that documentary, is that's how a lot of these porn stars make money in their off time, is that they go to strip
they're dancers.
Strip. Like, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, fuck? Like, and I think that's more of like an old thing versus a now thing because there's shitloads more money involved in it. And there's
actually, you know what?
Sell.
They make less money now than they made back then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you look it up, like the stars make less now than they used to make then.
Is it
There's not nearly as much spent on production because amateur has made so much of a movement, and there's so much free porn with like Pornhub and like the other free sites.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a $9 billion industry, I think, but they don't pay the actors and things like they used to because there's just not the same kind of need or want for production value.
I've heard Pornhub referred to by porn stars as like the Napster of porn. Like, it's literally like almost putting them out of business.
Speaking of that, who started Napster?
Sean Parker.
Yes, and he just came out against Facebook.
Oh shit! What? He's on the mess?
Yeah, he was an initial. Yeah, man. He just came out and talked about how they were and how he wonders what it's doing to kids' minds and things.
Oh, fucking A.
Yeah. Just this week.
Ladies
this week. This week.
Wow.
So and he said like that they knew, like they already knew that it was like not healthy and going to be bad for people, but they were making so much money off of it that they just were still pushing it. And, I don't want to misquote him, so I'm not going to quote anything, but that's like the synopsis of what I read. And there are multiple articles you can Google, like him talking about Facebook right now. It was just in the news over this past week.
Literally changes your relationship with society. This is a quote from Sean Parker.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
God only knows what it's doing to our children's brains.
Right.
God damn.
Yeah, pretty significant from a guy who was an initial investor.
He says it's a little hit of dopamine every time you log in, which causes then this is like a proven fact. It's just like porn. Like, supposedly it has the same effect as cocaine does on your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. God damn. What a fucking statement from somebody who helped found that shit. And by the way, got paid a fuckload of money from them.
I think still probably getting paid.
He either is. I don't know if he took a settlement with with those the two twins that sued the fuck out of him. I don't know.
Oh yeah, the Harvard guys who they sort of started it, and then the guy took the idea, kind of thing, or whatever.
Yep.
I don't know. Either way, it's from a significant face and name that started and helped move it forward. That's pretty important statements.
Yeah, I agree.
So, and then Democrats. There were elections this past week, and they pretty much swept the elections.
They did.
Talk about a referendum of the Trumpy-led Republican Party.
I agree.
So to the point of, I think it was in Virginia, a transgender candidate even won an office. So, pretty significant backlash over kind of the ultra conservative white Christian base.
Well, let's be
I guess you would
perfectly
call it.
honest. I don't give a fuck if you like Trump or not. But President Trump is not a Republican. He's a fucking Democrat wrapped in Republican clothes. The best picture I ever saw of fucking President Trump was right after the elections. It was, the whole, like, old Superman posters where it's him pulling off his suit and tie, and underneath his shirt, underneath is a Superman suit. And it was President Trump ripping off this Republican. I had the big elephant on it, and underneath was this big donkey shirt on. And to me, that's like iconic for President Trump. So
Yeah. I think he's definitely historically been a moderate, but I would say like the shit he says is pretty like radically right.
I think right now he's appealing to the people that put him in office, which is what you should do. I think I'm a strong believer in if you these politicians that get elected as Democrats or Republicans and switch parties, I think you should get tossed for that shit. Those are not the people that elected you. Absolutely.
I don't know.
Those are not the people.
To me, I think that going radical right or left is a piss poor move. I think you should be leaning towards moderation and doing the things that are in the obvious best interest of the country.
I agree with that statement. I do, but I think, like I said, I think that if you don't, if you're elected as a Democrat and you end up being an independent because you don't want to be a habitual line crosser, like you should start to fuck up. You should get tossed. Like there should be a new general election. Like those are the people that voted for you. Like if I voted for you as running as a Democrat,
But while we're on that line of thinking though, and I don't agree with that. We can we can not agree on that, and that's cool. Neither one of us have to get a nuclear weapon or shoot a bomb over Japan.
This is
like we're North Korea. But what do you think of? And earlier we were talking about Hollywood and the sex offender stuff. The Alabama accusations.
Judge Moore?
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
You were talking about how they should have an election. And I know that McCain called for him to step down and allow for the state to have a new election.
I agree 100% if it comes out.
Yeah, I think that's probably what should happen.
I'm a pick so it didn't happen kind of guy. If you're going to accuse somebody of something, the burden of proof now is on you. It should not be on the person to disprove it. It's on you to prove it now.
I agree, although the legal system tends to work the opposite way. It
does, and it's not supposed to. Like, it's really not supposed to do that. If that's crazy. Like, if somebody could accuse me of rape, and then the burden of proof is on me to prove it not. No, you need to prove it the other way. Fuck that.
I used to wonder why I woke up like feeling strange.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Only when you spent the night.
I think you spent the night at my house. More than I spent the night at your house.
Oh man!
Just let that sink in for a second. So yeah, and we don't have time to go all into it, but that's my stance on it. Like if you run as something, and Bo, like he said, he disagrees, which is that's fine. Maybe we can talk about that on the next show. I do want to plug though. So sometime in December, we're gonna have a Kill Cobra Studios like Christmas party stream. We have so much shit to give away, guys. Like, make sure you and the only way to get stuff is you got to tune in live. And I think we're gonna have a combination show of streaming. Like myself, Thor, Brew, and Bo will be involved. We'll have SNS/streaming for 2 to 4 hours. We have movies to give away. We have keyboards and mouses and monitors to give away. We have lots of Steam games. We have over $1,000 worth of merchandise to give away. So look for that. We're gonna it'll probably be before Christmas, the week before Christmas sometime. So make sure you tell your folks. The only way to win, like I said, will be to tune in live. That's just the easiest way for us to do it and to not burn anybody's feelings up. So But I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. Any short little quirps you want to do? We got about 3 minutes before we need to get out of here.
Oh, I was trying to think if there was any other important shit I wanted to talk about. I should have made a list. Oh, in the NFL, we were talking about NFL ratings.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention another reason that ratings are potentially down. Anybody who watches football, last night the Seahawks were playing. Richard Sherman tore his Achilles, so now he's injured. So I wanted to read a list of the NFL stars who are injured right now. So we'll start with Richard Sherman, who went down last night. Deshaun Watson went down in a non-contact drill. So there's Richard Sherman, Deshaun Watson, who was the brightest star out of the draft. Andrew Luck hasn't played all year. Aaron Rodgers hurt himself early. Odell Beckham Jr., Brandon Marshall, Zach Miller, the Chicago Bears tight end, who, not only had to fight for his potential career, but had to have surgery to save his leg and maybe his life. Jason Peters, Joe Thomas, Marshall Yonda, J.J. Watt, Whitney Merciless, Eric Berry, Dalvin Cook, David Johnson, Darren Sproles, Ryan Tannehill, Julian Edelman, Allen Robinson, I apologize, Alan. That's a significant number of Pro Bowlers and all pros that are all fucking injured, and it's midway through the season.
Zeke Elliott's out.
And Zeke Elliott lost his appeal, so now he's got to wait till minimally December 1st to be able to get into court. So he's going to serve at least 4 games before then. And Dallas has a difficult schedule coming up, so that's not good for the Cowboys. And it's pretty cruddy, in my opinion, that Zeke, who there is no true evidence from what I understand, because he was never officially charged or indicted.
Right.
In terms of the abuse, is looking at a 6-game suspension when Ray Rice, who had video of him knocking out a girlfriend, granted he's not gotten back in the league since then, but he only got a 2-game suspension from the league, if I remember right.
Correct.
And, Greg Hardy, who got in multiple issues, didn't get it an initial 6-game suspension. So to me, it seems fairly peculiar that Zeke got such a significant suspension from a case that didn't seem to have any legs. Now, as we said last week, leave the girls' boobies alone. Don't be pulling them out of the parades. But that's not what this suspension is supposedly about. So, but I'm sure that played some role in it. So, on that note, Zeke, we all like the boobies, but if it's not Mardi Gras, don't be pulling them out. Right. And then, then on that note, Jerry Jones is apparently trying to block Goodell's extension.
Right.
So.
Right. And good for owners standing up for
how
the
that
players, goes. I think that just adds fuel to the fire that there's no real evidence that Jerry Jones is just right there next to him, helping him fight the fight. So.
Yeah, I think so too. I know you're a Cowboys fan. I'm not really a Cowboys fan. I just think that it's shitty that somebody's being held accountable for things that they were never actually charged with or in trouble for. Right.
Exactly. Like I just talked about, the burden of proof now is on the accuser. So produce picks or it fucking didn't happen kind of shit.
So in their schedule is the Falcons, who were in the Super Bowl last year, and the Eagles. Then the Eagles, who are basically the number 1 team in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree.
My Broncos just learned that the hard way. Then the Chargers, and then the Redskins, who are historically, a very tough match for the Cowboys.
They always play tough against the Cowboys.
And then if that's the first 4, so if he only does 4 and then he gets into court and doesn't have to do the next one, then that's okay. Then they got the Giants, who are having an awful season, so the Cowboys should be able to get by them. But then after the Giants, they have the Raiders, and the Raiders are in the thick of things as far as a playoff hunt and a wild card.
Yeah.
So none of those are easy games.
I agree. Tough road. Hopefully Zeke is back on the field soon. So.
Right.
All right. Well, that is our show, folks. We appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you look for us next week. We'll be live on YouTube next Thursday night. And you can catch the replay here on YouTube or on iTunes, Google Play, or any of your favorite podcasting applications. Tell your friends, remember about the Christmas party in late December, where we're going to give away a fuckload of things. Think for your motherfucking self and question everything, guys. We will catch you next time.